Hi, 7th grade. This is Hedrick here. So today is Monday, May 11th. This is Math 7, and this is Lesson 23. So we need to kind of hustle through volume, and I know that this isn't new because I'm currently doing this with 6th grade. So I know we did it last year. So I'm going to do something a little different today. Today in Lesson 23, so grab your book. I've got a pencil and a calculator. You and I are going to kind of skip through this whole lesson, and I'm going to pick out a handful of problems that we're going to solve. So we're going to be finding the volume of, we're going to do rectangular prisms and triangular prisms. Okay, I don't think we have any cubes. We might. And then your homework tonight is going to be different too, because your homework is going to be a brain pop on volume. Okay, so today we're going to practice the problems. Tonight's homework is the brain pop with the quiz. I don't know if there's a worksheet with it or not, but I know there's a quiz. Okay, and then tomorrow on Google Docs, I'm not going to call it a quiz, but I've got these worksheets. I'm going to go through, and not the ones with answers, and pick out a couple. I'm going to put them in Google Docs. I'm just going to ask you to solve them. Okay, I do have a couple challenge ones, but so I've got triangular prisms. I've got rectangular prisms. I'm not going to do the cylinders. I could. You could solve them. Okay, more rectangular prisms and then more triangular prisms. So a couple of each. Okay. All right. So at the very least, you should do this with me. You're going to need to write down your formulas because you're going to need your formulas. Okay. All right. Here, let's do this. So right now, I'm in lesson 23. I'm on page 228. And you and I've got little check marks next to him, if you can see. We're just going to solve this problem. Okay. So yeah, in grade 6, you learned to find the volume of rectangular prisms and solid figures composed of rectangular prisms. Goodness, take a look at this problem. Okay, well, I'm going to jump to the chase because they're showing you that if you put two of these together, it makes a rectangular prism, and you could use the formula, but you have to take half. Okay. Last year, when we did volume, usually we said the volume of a rectangular prism was length times width times height. Okay. Well, I'm going to show you a different formula this time that I want you to write down. You can write it on your paper right here, highlight it, or if you have your notebook, put it in your notebook. And this one really works for any prism, whether these shapes are triangles, whether they're squares, whether they're rectangles, whether they're pentagons or hexagons or trapezoids or parallelograms. All right, this is how it works for any prism. So you're going to take, the volume is, it's the area of the base. Yes, I'm using the old-fashioned times sign, times the height. So if I want to find the volume of this prism, I'm going to find the area of the base. Well, the bases are the two shapes that match. So these are triangles. So the base is a triangle. I'm going to find the area of the triangles, and I'm going to multiply by how tall it is. That's all I'm going to do. Now, you know, in math, we're going to shorten stuff up, right? Just like scientists, we like to shorten the formulas. So capital V for volume. Area of the base. So you're going to take that capital B. That, whenever you see that capital B, that stands for the area of the base. Don't forget that. So this is that B. And then we're going to multiply it by the height. And if you notice, I didn't put a dot, I didn't put a time. Don't put a time sign because it'll look like an X. So this means the volume of the prism is the area of the base times the height because they're next to each other. All right, let's do this. Now, I'm going to go back over here and write some formulas. So how do I find the area of a triangle? So triangle area. Remember this one? It's base times height divided by 2. See, that's a base, a little b, and that's a base, big B. What's the difference? This is just the bottom of the triangle. This is a single dimension. This is the area of the base. That's why it's capital. That's how they're different. All right, so let's take a look at this triangle, see if we can figure this out. So it looks to me like, let's see, we've got a base. Our triangle has a base of 4. Oh, it's a right triangle. Yeah, here we go. The triangle has, this is a 4. This is a right angle here. It's hard to see, they tried to show it down here. And a height of 2. So for my triangle, I'm going to do 2 times 4 divided by 2. So 2 times 4 is 8, divided by 2 is 4. So the area of the volume is going to be the area of my base The area of the triangle is 4 times how tall is it? Well, that's easy. How tall is it? 5 inches. So volume is going to be 20, what units is this? Okay, well, first of all, it's inches. So is it inches squared, or is it inches cubed? All right, well, if we think about volume, it's three-dimensional, right? And normally I would do length times width times height, so that's a 3. This is a three-dimensional shape, so the exponent on these units are three-dimensional. So if I could shove this full of little cubic inches, there would be 20 cubic inches inside of that. Okay, that's how that works. All right, let's move on. Turn page. Actually, turn 2 pages. I jumped to page 230. Okay, 230. All right, read the problem below. Okay, we're just going to calculate the volume. A package carton in the shape of a triangular prism is shown in the diagram below. A packing carton, excuse me. What's the volume of the carton? All right, so same thing. Volume equals the area of the base times its height. What are the bases? You see them, they're triangles. That's why this is a triangular prism, right? Triangular prism. So this is the base. I need to find the area of the triangles, and I'm going to multiply it by how high it is. How long is it? 7. Okay, so let's deal with our triangles. So for my triangle, so this is my triangle area is base times height divided by 2. All right, what's the base of my triangle? 2. How tall is my triangle, right? The perpendicular one. 1.5. Oh, that's hard to tell that that's a decimal and a times sign. Divided by 2. All right, so 2 times 1.5. Well, if I have $1.50 and $1.50, that's 3. Divided by 2. 3 divided by 2 is going to be, what is that? 1, remainder 1, denominator 2. 1.5. Okay, so the area of my triangle is 1.5 inches squared. So I'm going to come back over here. So my volume is going to be 1.5 times, how tall is it? 7. Now, if you would like, let's just do this. You want to do 1.5? I'm going to do a little times sign, times 7. Okay, so on my calculator, 1.5 times 7 was 7.5 of 7. So 10.5. 10.5. So this is the volume. What are my units? Inches. This is a three-dimensional shape, so they're inches cubed. Okay, so let's recap. We've done this twice now. To find the area, to find the volume of a triangular prism, we're going to find the area of the base and multiply it by the height. So I came over here to find my area of my triangle. I did base times height, 2 times 1.5 divided by 2, which is 1.5. And then I brought it back over here and multiplied it by how long this tube is. How tall is it? 7. So this tube, if I could jam it full of cubic inches, 10.5 cubic inches would fit inside. Okay, let's turn the page. All right, I'm on page 231, and I'm going to jump all the way down to another triangular prism. One more time, find the volume. It's a right triangle, so they told me that. Okay. So let's write what we know. Volume is the area of the base times the height. So I need to find the area of this triangle. Okay. Whew, it's kind of like I feel like I want to turn it this way. Right? Here's the base. What is it? 5 feet. How tall is it? Straight up the middle. See, they're telling you that's perpendicular. 6 feet. Okay. So the area of my triangle is base times height divided by 2, which is a base of 5 times a height of 6 and divided by 2. Actually, it doesn't matter which order, right? Because it's commutative. Order doesn't matter. 5 times 6 is 30 divided by 2. So that would be, technically, that would be 15 feet squared. And then I would come over here, and the volume would be 15 feet squared times how long is this? How tall is this? 11 feet. So if I do feet squared times feet, I'm going to get feet cubed. So 15 times 11. So I'm going to use my calculator. And that is, I'm going to put it down here, 165 cubic feet. So you find the area of the base, I did that here, and then you bring it back and you multiply by how high or how long it is, okay? All right, let's do it, keep going. How about, let's solve this one. This one's a little more complicated. Just so you know, I'm not gonna give you, this would be for an E, but we'll go ahead and talk about it. What is the volume of the camping tent? Now, technically this is a pentagon. We could find the formula for the area of the pentagon, but honestly, right now, these are the two formulas that you and I know. So do you see what they did? They made a triangular prism and a rectangular prism. Okay, so we're gonna find the area of this and the area of that and add it together. This is probably like the iReady video that you did. Okay, let's put some dimensions on this. So I'm gonna start down here. What do I know? I know that this is 8 feet, right? I just copied it from here. I know that this is 2 feet, and then what's this? 6 feet. So I can do the area, I have the volume for this, length times width times height. Okay, now let's go up here and do the triangle. How long is this side? Well, it's the same as this side, right? So this is still gonna be 8 feet. Okay, let's see, what do I have to figure out? Oh, I need base. What's the base of the triangle? Right here, right? This would be the same as this. So this is 6 feet. Now I need to know how tall it is. Okay, so this is where it's tricky. From here all the way to the bottom is 5.5 feet. How tall is this? 2 feet. So I'm going to take, if you go back and look at this picture, I'm going to take I'm going to cut this part off. This is 5.5 feet up to here, right? Straight up and down. I don't need these 2 feet. So I'm going to subtract 2. So what's 5.5 minus 2? 5.5 minus 2 is 3.5. Okay. So let's find the volume of each of these and then add them together. So for this one, where do I want to write it? Volume equals the area of the base times the height. All right, what's the area of the base? Well, the area of the base is going to be base times height divided by 2. So what is 6 times 3.5? That's 21 divided by 2. So this is 10.5. So this area is 10.5 feet squared. All right, now I'm going to take my 10.5, so 10.5, and multiply it. I'd use the old time sign, don't tell, by how tall it is, 8. So what is 10.5 times 8? 84. So the volume of this triangular prism is 84 feet cubed. Now let's go down here. This will be much easier. Now I could still do area of the base times height. We probably should do that. Or you could do this, for this one you could also do length times width times height. So you can just multiply the 3 numbers. Okay. What's the area of the base? Well, the base is 6 by 8. So 6 times 8 is 48 times how tall it is, 2. So 6 times 8 equals 48 times 2 equals 96. So this is 96 feet cubed. Now what should I do with those 2 numbers? You got it. I'm going to add them together. So I'm going to take my 84 and I'm going to add it to my 96 and I'm going to get 180. So the volume of this shape is 180 feet cubed. So I took the volume of this and the volume of that and added them together. Okay. I'll tell you what, let's do this. I think we're okay on that. Let's do this last one and then we'll call it and you can go work on the brain pop. Okay? All right. So same thing we just did. Mr. Jones is building a garage as shown to the right. What's the volume of the garage? Okay, let's deal with the rectangular prism. So I need length times width times height. So that's pretty easy. So I'm just going to do this volume. I'm going to do length times width times height. So I'm going to do 12 times 9 times 7.5. So on my calculator, 12 times 9 times 7.5. Oops, sorry. I don't know where that extra 1 came from. This is 810 cubic feet for the rectangle, the bottom part. Now I have to do the triangle at the top. Okay, so I need to find the area of this triangle and multiply it by this length, which is what, 12 feet. All right, so help me here. I need the base. What number is that? 9. So I need the area first. So that's going to be 9 times, right, base is 9. How tall? This little piece right here. Well, it says from here to here is 9 feet, right? But I don't need this 7.5. So on my calculator, I'm going to take my 9 and I'm going to subtract 7.5. So this little bit right here is 1.5. Oh, can you see that's a 1.5? So 9 times 1.5, and then I'm going to divide it by 2 because it's a triangle. 9 times 1.5 equals 13.5 divided by 2. So this is 6.75, the area of this. Now I'm going to take that area, so I'm going to come over here, volume equals the area of the base times the height. So I'm going to do the area of the base. Yeah, old school times sign. Yeah, I did it. How long is this? Down here, right? 12 times 12. All right, my calculator says that that's 81 feet, right? Yep, feet cubed. So that's the volume of the triangular prism, and that's the volume of the rectangular prism. And then I'm going to take those two numbers and I'm going to add them together, and that gives me 891 feet cubed. That should be a cube. Okay. All right, so this is all we're doing on lesson 23. That's it. So what I want you to do is go to do the brain pop for homework. I want you to watch the video and I want you to take the little quiz. I don't know if there's a worksheet. I can't remember. And then tomorrow, I want you to be on the lookout. In Google Classroom, I'll have a I'll take some screenshots of these and put them in, and I'll ask you to go in and find their volume. Okay? All right, and then there won't be a quiz. That's what will count as our grade. Okay? All right, my friends, and the brain pop is also a grade, and the iReady will be a grade. So we'll have 3 grades. Okay, my friends, have a good one. I'll see you tomorrow.